Welcome into Wolves Live, presented by Postman Lawn. What a game we had here inside Scotiabank Arena. The Minnesota Timberwolves complete the second largest comeback of the season, and they complete their largest fourth quarter comeback. They trail as many as 12, but they come back to take down the Raptors here tonight, 128-126. Hi, everyone. Welcome in courtside here at Scotiabank Arena. Alongside Jim Peterson, I'm Kaylee Griffin. The Timberwolves with a 2-point win over the Raptors here tonight. And most importantly, Jim, the streak finally comes to an end.
Yeah.
First win here in Toronto since 2004. What did it take for this team to get this win?
To finally hold the Toronto Raptors to under 30 points in a quarter. So the first three quarters, Raptors scored 35, 37, and 32 in the first three. Just 22 points for the Raptors. Minnesota put together finally a complete effort in a quarter. And it was, that other unit that kind of cut that lead down in the 16-3 run. But Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter was amazing. So you can't say enough about the team effort that it was. Ant's right. It was a team effort, but he was the closer. He was being a little bit humble, wasn't he?
He was. Well, that's why I had to say something about it. But this, Anthony Edwards always says it starts with him. He is the leader of this team, and he set the tone in the fourth quarter, Jim, on both ends of the floor. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He also had that big block. How important was it for him to play a complete game on both ends in that final frame to set that tone?
Well, I just say that Minnesota is a complete team when Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle decide to play on the defensive end with energy and effort so that Minnesota can get stops. And that's exactly what happened. Julius wasn't as much of a part scoring wise, but the way that he rebounded the basketball inside, like putting a body on somebody, Ant was defending at an A level. I mean, that is MVP level play by Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, no question. Well, how about the team effort? Again, as Anthony Edwards highlighted, he was quick to spotlight his teammates. But again, Jim, as you mentioned, they held the Raptors to just 22 points in that fourth quarter, outscoring them 34-22. This is something they hadn't done over the last 2 games. What proved to be the biggest difference defensively? What changed for them?
Down 18. Minnesota has supreme confidence, first of all, when they get down double digits in the fourth quarter, that they can come back and win. They've done it so many times before, but you see this montage of plays that was during that 16-3 run. And then after that was over, Ant came back into the game. It was Ant time. And so, Ant was a +6 in that fourth quarter, but it was, he's not wrong with what the other performances that Minnesota got from other guys. He is right that without Bones Highland in this game, Bones had 20, off the bench for Minnesota, 8 of 12 shooting for Bones Highland, 4 of 7 from outside the arc. He had 5 points in that stretch. Nas had 6 points, came alive because Nas was not shooting the ball well. And so for Minnesota to get that kind of performance, 37 points off their bench scored by those two guys. Yeah. They really did a great job. So, DiVincenzo was a very underrated night. He went 5 of 9 from outside there. All of his points came from 3-point range. So, it just was a fun fourth quarter. The first 3 were kind of on the edge of your seat a little bit. Are they going to start playing? And they finally did.
Yeah, they certainly did. Well, let's take a look now at our FanDuel picks, because whatever your lineup is, you can make your picks for a chance to win up to 1,000 times your entry fee on FanDuel picks. And right now, new customers can play $5 and get $25 in bonus credits, win or lose. Just scan the QR code now and join today. Well, we had our eyes on Jaden McDaniels. He had to go over 14.5 points. He did just that, 19 points. Again, another extremely efficient shooting night for Jaden, going 8 of 13 from the floor. He dished out 4 assists as well. Jim, what stood out to you about Jaden's performance tonight?
Just even. He's been such an unbelievable player, the way that he's got the diversity of his game. All these highlights you're seeing, stopping and popping from 3, attacking the basket, being able to finish at the rim with power. So it's just great to see these young players that have now become veteran players. I mean, Jaden now has been in the league. This is his 6th year in the league. He's no longer a young player. He's a veteran player that has got a complete game now.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards' favorite player in the NBA. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels coming up big. 19 points, 19 for Jaden, 30 for Anthony Edwards. And most importantly, the big win here in Toronto. We've got more coming up here on Wolves Live as we continue to wrap this one up. It's the Timberwolves taking down the Raptors here tonight, 128-126. As the Timberwolves take down the Raptors here tonight, 128-126. The Wolves shooting 51% on the night, knocking down 16 triples. They actually outscored the Raptors 20-17 in the fast break. Again, Toronto leads the entire NBA in fast break points. We were all even at 52 when it came to points in the paint. Let's hear now from the winning head coach, Chris Finch. His coach's comments are presented by Treasure Island.
Well, down the stretch, we made a ton of winning plays. Julius on the offensive glass. Smart offense by Ant by putting the pressure on, going to the hoop. Got our hands on a lot of things. Got a lot of things. We rebounded pretty well. I thought we just made in the fourth quarter a lot of just little like gritty plays that we hadn't been consistently making, not just in this game, but maybe in the last couple games. So, all credit to the guys there. So.
The first half defense was.
Yeah, I mean it was we were kind of in a fog. I don't know. We just transition. We kind of we're stabbing up the floor and getting cross matched and just kind of a little bit loose there. And I think we came out with much better approach in the second half. We knew they run. I mean, they lead the league in fast break points. We took away the long passes, which they like to do, but we got cross matched and we got loose, and then it felt like we were a step behind.
How do you as a coach decide in those moments when to just stay the course with your guys or when to say, hey, I gotta try something else?
In terms of like rotation stuff? It's a bit of feel, of course, tried it all a little bit tonight, big lineup, didn't go deep into the bench. I thought maybe we could, but you could see us like slowly coming alive. So I was going to try to ride that. I knew in the beginning of the fourth, like I had to go with the lineup, I just felt like those guys were experienced enough to be able to make our run right then. If we didn't make our run in the beginning of the fourth, then we would be chasing the game. So
the lift in that moment, Bones, Nas.
Yeah.
What kind of lift did they give you?
Bones was great in the first half. We didn't have much flow to our offense. He was able to throw in a few from deep. I loved how he kept being aggressive. Then Nas kind of as the game went along, we really were able to find him. I thought Ant did a good job. I thought the game turned really when Anthony got to the paint and started making plays rather than settling as much in the mid range. And then we were able to get him in rotation and get some clean looks. It was really just kind of him and Bones going somewhere, and getting to the heart of the defense.
What turned the defense on in the fourth quarter, you think, as opposed to the other three?
I just, I liked our on-ball physicality. We kind of overran everything. Didn't allow them angles to get downhill. I thought Rudy was really good, kind of getting up a bit more to take away the mid-range shot that they were kind of like, surviving on at times. And then, we were much better just shutting down a three-point line.
Chris, Ant has been so good down the stretch this season, but I guess what do you think contributes most to his elevated play in those moments right now?
He's just doing it. Like tonight was a perfect example. I thought he did a great job of like getting the matchup he wanted, attacking pretty quickly, not settling, putting pressure on. I think, in years gone by, we probably would seen a few more like hero shot threes. I thought his three tonight or his shot tonight, came, in the flow, but mostly he was getting downhill, waited for the moment for the floor to open up, and got to the free throw line.
The Wolves secure their first win in Toronto since 2004 tonight, taking down the Raptors 128-126. More coming up on Wolves Live. Well, the Wolves go 2-1 on this road trip as we take a look at our upcoming schedule, and it is home sweet home, all before the All-Star break and then wrap it around to after as well. Friday, they welcome in the New Orleans Pelicans. On Sunday, it is Darius Garland's Clippers. And on Monday, it will be the Atlanta Hawks. Jim, will be interesting to see how all of these teams look a little different come tomorrow night. But obviously, this is a really good win for the Timberwolves in terms of getting this last road win of this road trip and then it being able to go home on a high note.
No doubt about it. And then you got some tough teams. The Pelicans are a very talented team with a lot of good young players. And, the Clippers are different now with no James Harden. Darius Garland not able to play, so he's not going to be able to impact that game very much. But Kawhi Leonard's playing at such a high level right now. And then the Atlanta Hawks, they're, who knows what's going to happen with their roster before the trade deadline. But this is going to be one of those things where I'm just hoping to get through this, and then we can focus on basketball.
Yeah, no question. Well, the streak comes to an end. It feels good. I'm just happy to be here,
good,
honestly. I think I'm going to take a little credit for this
You are a good luck charm. I mean, we have to figure out what your record is. What is your
I've lost 2 games now, Memphis and Cleveland.
Okay, so you've done 10?
I've done, I think, 9 or 10.
Okay.
We're pretty good.
So you're 8-2.
8-2? I'll take that.
All right. And we know one thing for sure. Our director, Dave Dittman, who's not here with us right now, he's back in Minneapolis.
Poor Dave.
Jason Clements is our director. Dave is lost. That losing streak started when Dave became our director. So he's not coming back. Jason Clements, you're up, baby.
All right, that's going to do it for Wolves Live here tonight. The Wolves taking down the Raptors 128-126. That wraps up this road trip. Timberwolves going 2-1 in Memphis and Toronto, back home for a matchup with the Pelicans. All home games before and after the All-Star break. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:30. For Jim Peterson and our entire crew, I'm Kaylee Griffin. We'll see you back here on Friday.